Hello and welcome to the 2024 Southland Baseball season previews. And I'm joined right now by defending champions, the Nicholls Colonels, head coach Mike Silva and Parker Coddou. Coach Parker, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Thanks for having us.
Well, it's a very exciting time of the year, getting ready to start the 2024 Southland baseball season. But, Coach, I have to start looking back at last year's accomplishments. A historic season for you guys at Nicholls, a first title since 1998, you yourself being named Clay Gold Southland Coach of the Year. What do those kind of accolades mean to you and the history you were able to create last season?
Yeah, they were awesome. I thought it was a big step forward for our program. And I think going back to when, we took the job a couple of years ago, we had those goals in mind and we really set the foundation that first year and we were able to kick the door in last year and just you want to continue that momentum and continue that rise. And so it was great, everything we accomplished last year, but it's a new year and we're ready to kick that off.
And Parker, obviously, you've seen this change in the program under Coach Silva and the successes that you've been able to have. What do you think allowed you guys to be so successful last year, winning both the regular season and the tournament championships?
I think it was just that we were always consistent in what we did. We showed up every day, so we would tell us every day is a new day, and we would forget the bads and forget the goods and just focus on the new day that was in front of us.
And for you personally, Parker, an incredible season individually, first team all conference, all defense, even all academic. There's almost nothing you can't do. How do you go about trying to top that with your own play this season?
I mean, yeah, it was great to get all those awards and those accomplishments, and I would love to repeat them. But at the end of the day, it was last year. We gotta kind of forget about it. And now instead of personal goals, I think we got to focus on the team goals because I would love to just repeat everything, win one more, make it farther in the regional and farther.
And coach, people often talk about winning the first championship is hard, but defending the championship is so much harder. Is that how you see it as a challenge going into this year in 2024?
Yeah, not particularly. I don't believe in defending championships. That championships and those trophies are never going to leave here. We're not giving them back. We're not bringing them to home plate to start the new season or the new conference season. It's a new season. It's a new group. There's some new individuals. We return a lot of the same pieces. I think the guys here really understand the goals and what we're trying to do, and I think their work replicates that every single day. But I think if you get caught up in trying to defend something that nobody's ever going to take from you, like, so if we don't win it this year, do they take last year's away? No. This is a new team and a new challenge and a new year, and we're excited about that opportunity. But look, there's a lot of really good teams, really good coaches in this league, and we're going to have our work cut out for us. I don't think we're going to sneak up on anybody, so to speak, like maybe we could have a year ago, and that's going to be fun. It's more of a challenge.
So as you talk about building a new team for a new year, what was your mindset in terms of the types of players or what positions in particular you needed to bring into the program with your new recruiting class for this 2024 season?
Yeah, I think we needed to add a little bit more firepower on the mound, and then just I didn't want to compromise our culture and the type of players that really have allowed us to be successful. And I don't think we did that. I thought we added some really good pieces. We lost Austin Kane at third base, lost Wes Toops in center field, lost Zane Washington in right field. You lose guys like, Terrio and Gearing and Mancuso and so on and so forth on the mound. Those are staples for us, and they were guys that deserve a lot of the credit for the success that we've had. But also we thought that they've also probably presented opportunity for us to recruit really good players that would be as good as them, if not maybe have opportunities to be better. And so, we feel really good about some of the pieces that we've been able to bring in.
And Parker, kind of touching on those pieces, Coach mentioned the word culture, right? And you spend a lot of time with your teammates, obviously, in and around the baseball field. So how would you describe the culture that you guys have there in that locker room?
The culture around here it's pretty good. We kind of stick together. We do everything together. It's almost like a big family, and it's kind of cool that I kind of saw the same thing in last year's team, and to be able to see that in this year's team is very positive to everyone.
And obviously, Coach just listed a number of those big names that you guys have had to try and replace. So when you look around the incoming group, does that give you confidence that you're going to be able to replace those individuals and achieve similar outcomes to what you had last year?
Yes, because at the end of the day, it takes everybody. It takes a team, and I believe the way we've been bonding over the spring, we've been putting up good practices. Is going really good. So yeah, I feel pretty confident with all of it.
Coach, one returner of note that I did just want to get your thoughts on, and perhaps the pitching staff on the whole, is obviously Jacob Mayers, NCBWA Freshman Pitcher of the Year, Southland Conference Freshman of the Year. He had an incredible rookie season. And how exciting is it to have him back on the mound for you this year?
Yeah, it's exciting to have him back. I mean, obviously he's a bona fide ace at this level, and he's gotten better. And so he's continued to improve, and he's still hungry. And there's a lot we felt like coming out of last year that not to take away or not celebrate the success that he had, but we felt like there was a lot of areas he could improve on. I know he felt like that as well. And you spend 5 minutes with that young man, you're going to understand that he's hungry and he has desire to continue to improve. And so today, this year, and I guess each year that we have him, we're looking for him to continue to take steps in the right direction. And so we're excited about where he's at. And, you know, yeah, he's going to, I mean, I don't know about the whole rotation right now, but I mean, I think you can kind of count on him rolling out there to open this thing up and get us kicked off.
And you spoke about wanting to add more firepower on the mound. So what are you looking for in other individuals to step up and be support around Jacob?
We're just a lot deeper on the mound. I mean, that's going to be a strength of our team. We have to pitch it and play really good defense, and I feel like we can do both those things. We probably have a couple of bats that need to grow into their roles, but we're deeper. We can give you different looks. We have more left-handed pitching. We got more, you know, guys that can drop down, sidearm specialist type guys. We have guys with more velocity and stuff, and we feel like we did a really good job addressing some areas we felt like we were probably short a year ago, just from a depth perspective. And you know, obviously having Jacob back is huge just because you solidify that Friday night role, which is huge. And anytime you can go out there, and that was a weakness of us a year ago. If you go look at our record, we weren't very good on Fridays. Somehow we found a way to win series on Saturdays and Sundays, and hopefully that becomes a strength for us this year instead of kind of an Achilles heel.
And Parker, obviously you lead so much of the defensive effort for your team and received accolades based on your play. And I remember a number of Sports Center top plays that you were involved in last year. How do you feel about that defensive structure that Coach Silva has built there at Nicholls?
I do believe with defense and pitching is going to be one of our strengths this year, and he preaches all the time that defense wins games. So if we're able to eliminate our mistakes and just make the routine plays, because the great plays will come as the season goes along, but if we could just stick to our game plan and stick to us, I think it'll all work out for us at the end of the year.
And Coach has obviously alluded to the fact that you're not going to be able to sneak up on anyone, right? As the champions from last year, however we want to phrase it, teams are going to be out to try and beat you, Parker. So do you guys feel that kind of siege mentality of it's up against the world? Is that something that you guys are using for motivation?
I guess you could say we know there's expectations this year, but I also can say, I guess there's pressure, but with pressure comes privilege. It means that we've earned it. So now I think we'll just keep our head down and go game by game.
Coach, in terms of the schedule, you know, the trip to Nebraska jumps out, and it's notable that there's kind of a number of home stretches and a number of away stretches. So take me through your thoughts on the schedule, especially the non-conference stuff, and how that will prepare you for Southland Conference play.
Yeah, well, I just think early in the season, the opportunity to play at home, we have good weather, right? And so our conference, the location of it, there's teams from the north that want to come down and play, and we get to take advantage of that. And then, you know, it's the start of the semester too, so it keeps our young men in class a lot, right? And gets them off to a good start in the classroom, which is important. And then you want to challenge yourself, and that's going to be really difficult for us going on the road to Nebraska. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a hostile environment. We did it last year. But it really kind of gets you battle tested and gives you that bonding opportunity on the road to get ready for conference play when the real grind of this thing kind of takes over. And if you look at the conference standings last year, I mean, as far as the pressure of the league and stuff, look, it came down on the last day. I mean, it could have went a variety of different ways. The other teams are really good and probably as deserving. And, you know, you're fortunate that your team plays really well at the right time. And, you know, so I don't think our guys are naive to how difficult it is or how difficult it's going to be. And it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. And I think our schedule kind of lines up for that too. We have some really challenging midweeks. We have some really challenging non-conference games. And I think that's a testament to the program that we've tried to build and also the strength of our conference. We have to be ready to go to play those teams.
And you just touched a little bit on the strength of the conference there. So as you look up and down the standings, and obviously you saw how condensed the majority of the teams were last year, when you look towards the potential Southland Tournament Championship in May down there in Hammond, what is it going to take for you guys to be able to peak at the right time and try and win a second in a row?
Yeah, I just got to get better every week. You know, I think that was the strength of our team a year ago. We just kind of got better every week. We still hit our lumps and we had our bad moments, but we just were consistent in our preparation. And I thought we peaked at the right time because we kept improving throughout the course of the season. We played our best baseball at the right time. But look, I want to make it there first, right? I mean, it's a challenge to get there. I don't take that for granted. Everybody's talking about championships. First, you got to make it into the tournament, and then you got to find a way to put yourself in position to win it. And it's going to be a long journey, a long challenge. You got to be blessed with health and well-being, and then you got to battle all these other great coaches and teams in our league, which I don't think people understand how challenging our league is and how much respect I have for the other programs and the other coaches that we compete against every day. And so I know we're going to have our work cut out for us, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And Parker, just lastly, just to get to know a couple of your teammates a little bit better before we finish this. Obviously, there can be long days in the dugout and waiting on rain delays and things, as we know during baseball. So who's the guy who really keeps everyone ticking? Who's the funniest guy in that dugout that keeps everyone's spirits high? And on the flip side, who's not quite as funny as they think they are?
Funniest, I'd have to go with. Would you agree, Jaden Clara?
Mm-hmm.
He does some pretty funny stuff. He usually gets the whole dugout riled up and get us laughing. And then on the non-funniest, there's a lot of them. I don't know.
Put yourself out there.
Me?
No, I said put
not me.
yourself out there.
I guess Licks. I don't think Licks is pretty funny. Licks or Eddie.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do about trying to get a competition between the two of them when we get to the championship tournament and see if either of them have got funnier during the season. But Parker, thank you for your honesty and thank you for taking the time to chat to us. Coach, we'll wish you nothing but the best for 2024, and thanks so much for talking to us today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Sir, thank you.